Legend has it that the first champagne coupe was modeled directly after Marie Antoinette's left breast. It's not a huge leap to go from boobs to drinkware. After all, the way we talk about women's breasts as vessels from which others are free to drink up and enjoy dates back to the creation myths that shaped the Western world. Not to mention the fact that there are plenty of people out there who call human breasts cans or jugs. But the historical record is pretty clear on the fact that this Marie Antoinette legend, while titillating, is not true. Champagne coupes, with their flat, round, admittedly boob-esque shape, evolved organically out of the traditional 17th century drinking vessels for cider and wine. The Marie Antoinette story might be false, but other women have definitely had glassware modeled on their décolleté, including Kate Moss and Claudia Schiffer. So, in the interest of science, I decided to see what having a champagne coupe molded directly from my left breast would be like. Hi there, are you Emily?
Yes, I am.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks so much for doing this with me.
Of course. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready as I'll ever be to do this.
Basically, the alginate picks up like every little detail, and then the plaster is kind of like a mother mold. It just holds it into place because the alginate is very like floppy.
Okay.
I'll mix a batch and then I just like I apply it and like we build up in layers.
Just like directly onto my boob.
Yes. So I pour the hot wax into the alginate and then we let it set.
Okay.
And then I make a mold from that, and then they use it in the hot shop to make the glass. Okay?
I think I'm ready for it.
All right.
Probably requires me to take off my coat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably more than your coat. Casting with any kind of material is very similar to cooking in the sense that you kind of have to have everything prepped beforehand. Just having everything already measured out so that I can just like immediately start mixing. I think to get it as symmetrical as possible, the best thing to do would be to lean over.
What is preferable to getting like the ideal shape? Right now it's like pretty cold in here and I have a hard nipple.
Maybe lukewarm?
Lukewarm, that's a...
All right, happy medium.
I feel like there's a real adrenaline running through my blood right now and through my boob.
It's pretty instant when it starts to like change. It's pretty much getting there. Hi, Claire.
Oh, it's cold, like a thick night cream that's on my boob right now. It makes my boob a lot bigger when I like this way. I should stand like this all the time. So like the coupe is like shorter, squatter, rounder, but this seems to be a whole different beast. My left boob feels a little heavy right now, but it's really nothing so bad.
The plaster is gonna be more difficult. Like gravity is gonna be an enemy, like with that, much more than with the alginate.
I probably have had like 17 tacos this week. I should have been considering that I was gonna like be standing here shirtless.
Well, think about it, makes your boobs fuller.
If I have a lot of tacos?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nobody wants a saggy boob, you know? We're using this plaster to put over the alginate so that it holds its structure.
Okay.
Because if I were just to take the alginate off and pour wax into it, the wax might deform the shape of the alginate.
But it does seem unlikely to me that like aristocratic French women were ever undergoing this process in order to, if this is true, that like Marie Antoinette's boob was the inspiration for the coupe.
I know like the Kate Moss one.
Oh yeah.
She didn't use a mold. It looked more geometrical, so I think it was like more so inspired.
It's like really stylized.
Yeah, it was like inspired by her boob. Sorry, it's part of my girdle.
I'm free.
There we go.
Wow.
So that's her boob.
It's wider and more shallow than I would have expected.
That's good to go.
The plaster took about 20 minutes to set, and then Emily poured hot wax into the mold that the glass was later blown into. In the studio's hot shop, Emily and Josh, another member of Brooklyn Glass's team, coated the interior of the mold with graphite to prevent the glass from sticking. It was then blown into the shape of the cup, and a stem and foot were added. End, my boob glass looked nothing like Marie Antoinette's left breast, or like my own for that matter. With its ridges, lumps, and angles, it's not a glass conducive to drinking any liquid, let alone champagne. But that's okay, this was just an experiment that didn't quite work out, Yet another nail in the coffin for the rumor that the champagne coupe originates with a specific woman's anatomy. Still, I'll raise my ungraceful glass to toast this long line of women who were talked about, made into objects, and kept under glass, but never allowed themselves to be mere vessels.